everyone. I hope you are having a fabulous day today because I know I sure am. Got my little coffee and this shirt is seriously making me feel like I'm a wild animal. So today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favorite things about drawing, which is shading. And if you get good at shading, seriously, like, it opens so many doors to drawing like you guys have no idea. Personally, I believe the best way to practice shading is by drawing spheres. So right now I have get at least like some decent paper for this exercise. You don't have to get like fancy paper, just like at least get some kind of like a drawing pad. I have like my Vine charcoal and I have some compressed charcoal, an eraser, and like some blending things. But the first thing you're going to want to do is just draw a circle on your paper. I really want you to focus on my technique of being able to shade in things. That was kind of like the point of this video. I like to start out using my Vine charcoal because it's, it's not going to like kill my drawing if I make a mistake right off the bat compared to compressed charcoal. So I'm going to kind of map out where I want my dark areas. So and for this drawing, I'm going to have like the light source like coming from over here in the circle, and then my dark shadowy area is going to be like right over here. So I'm going to loosely start kind of zoning out where I want the dark and lights. And you see how I'm just kind of doing this nice circular motion? And if you're wondering, the reason why I decided charcoal would be the best way to demonstrate this tutorial is because if you're trying to shade and pencil, it takes forever. But if you're just trying to learn how to get used to shading, I'm telling you guys, charcoal is the way to go. I'm just continuing. And then I'm going to like kind of peek it out over here, because it's going to have like a little bit of darkness. My dog's licking himself in the background. It's kind of nasty. And don't get too frustrated if you go outside the circle, because you can always clean up your edges. So now I'm going to like start applying like a lighter pressure and creep in. That's the way I would say. Creep in with these like circular motions, but now you see how there's more space in between. I'm creeping in, but I'm leaving some white space, as opposed to this is a lot tighter circles. Now we're doing like looser circles. And we're still going to creep in a little bit, even though there's a light source right here. So I'm going to like just mark, I like to do this too, is mark off where is my extreme highlight going to be. Extreme highlight's going to be somewhere over here, and then we're going to have like fallout where the light's going to come. So I know it's going to have to like creep into that area. This tutorial is going to cover mostly the physical technique that you would use in order to shade in charcoal and add texture. If you're looking for more of a video specifically like how this bounces off of this and the light goes there, we'll cover that a little bit, and I'll write more about that on my blog. But I really want you guys to be able to see, oh, okay, so these circular motions are going to be able to blend really well when I start blending. One of the problems that you'll have when you're starting out with drawing is if you start making like scratchy motions, or if you're going too hard on it, it's going to be really hard to blend out. And that's one of the reasons why I like using Vine charcoal, is because it's a lot more forgiving. See, I'm just sweeping right now. Sweeping the color. I'm just building layer upon layer. You'll notice when you shade, it is a rinse and repeat process. You're going to have to like redo a lot of stuff over and over again, and I'll show you exactly what I mean once we begin to blend. Blending is just about, you're going to like have it one way, and then you're going to blend it, and then it's going to be like too dark, it's going to be too light, and you'll just have to go back and keep tweaking things until you get them the way you want them. All right, now I'm gonna add like a little bit of a shadow down here. Just a little tiny one for now. Nothing too crazy. And then I'm gonna continue, leaving a little bit of a white space right there, just a tiny bit. Okay. Now I'm gonna like creep in again a little bit more, but I'm going to start giving this object dimension by suggesting lines that make it look more round. Gosh, why is that so hard for me to say? Oops. See, it's okay if you mess up a little bit. It's fixable. It's an inconvenience, but it's fixable. That's what you have to do when you deal with charcoal. Okay. So I'm getting these little lines going like this. Okay. And they will be blended out. You won't be able to see all these weird hair-like strands going on. Okay. Now I'm going to get my blending tool and we're going to go to the next step. So I have a pretty used and worn out blending stump, and I'm going to be using this to kind of go along with color. If you just bought like a brand new one of these, just take some time like on a separate piece of paper to put some charcoal down and rub it in, because it's nice to have like, it's good to have one of these things like nice and used and dirty because it blends a lot better. So I'm coming in and I'm doing, again, I really like this nice kind of like back and forth circle-y motion, little circles. So I'm grabbing all of that darkness right there, and we're going to make this look like a very cohesive drawing. Look at that. It goes really fast, faster than you'd probably think, to finish something in charcoal, because it moves really quickly. You just have to get to a point where the thing that takes forever, is what I'm trying to say, is reworking it. It's not a matter of like laying it down. That's the problem. Like, okay, if I was drawing this in pencil, oh my gosh, like we would be here for a few hours. But this just works so much faster. Okay, so see how this area was more of a lightly loose, what didn't I say, like loose circles? Yes. This is like the area where we had looser circles. And so it's coming out a lot lighter, which is a good thing, because that's what we wanted. Circle, circle, circle motion. And then sometimes like I like to get in there too, like this back and forth kind of, there we go. See that? Going over some lines, filling it in. And I'm just going around the edge, which we will clean up in a little bit because it's looking pretty nasty. Okay, then we're going to come over here and we're going to work a little bit gentler because it's a lighter area. But we're still, the idea is to push the charcoal around. And you don't need to keep reapplying right now. You're going to use whatever's on here and you're going to use it for your lighter areas, which is really convenient. Still circular motions. Circle, circle, circle. Sometimes you have to add a little bit more force, but you're not pressing down, you're just adding a little bit more vigor. Have fun with it. This should be really fun to do. Just go at it, add lots of motion. Yes, I like how it looks all hazy and nice. We're doing something right. Okay. Now we're creeping into this little highlighted area, and I'm just going to kind of continue because we're going to end up erasing a little bit. And that's a good thing. Erasing is a really important part of drawing, which I didn't think when I first started drawing. I thought erasing meant you did something wrong. That's not true. It's really helpful to erase. Adds a lot of interest. Okay. There we go. Sweeping, sweeping, sweeping. Let's clean this area up a little bit. It kind of looks all cool, all sketchy like that, but we're gonna make this like that. I'm gonna have to come back to that. And that's kind of going into the highlight a little bit more than I wanted it to. So just going on like that. I'm going to open up my little container and get out my wonderful kneaded eraser, and this is going to help us, oh yeah, get rid of some of this shading on the highlight. Just dabbing it a little bit, and I'm kind of annoyed right now about like the rough edges, so I'm going to clean those up a bit too. Oops. That should do it. That's good enough. Alright, so now we're going to continue with our shading like we were doing before. We're actually going to do anti-shading by just taking a little bit off the highlight again, and we're gently like rubbing this to just remove some of that excess charcoal and make the highlight stand out again. And see, that looks like a lot of highlight. That's like, whoa, that's like too much highlight. What's going on there? We're going to blend it out again and keep doing this process over and over again until it looks really realistic. Or at least try to get there. Now, one of my favorite things to use for blending that I forgot to mention is toilet paper. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, has toilet paper around their house, and goodness, so many uses for toilet paper that you did not know. So I'm gonna also, I like using toilet paper specifically for like blending in more of the highlighted areas. It works really well for that. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to start moving the charcoal in. It can also retract too, like it can take away some of the charcoal. See, like right here, watch this. See how it kind of took away? It's useful for that as well. But I'm going to use it to kind of blend the area we're working with. There we go. Get this going. Look how pretty the toilet paper makes things. Bet you never thought anybody would say that before. Cool, look at this. It's coming along well. Oh, until I did that. Oh, that was about. Now we're going to come in again. Erase out highlights. Blend again. Now I really want us to pop those dark parts. So one way that I really like doing this is coming back in with a charcoal pencil, and I'm going to start hinting at some dark parts. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'm just lightly hinting at it right here, some darker parts. There's going to be like a little light area right here, so I'm going to indicate that right on top of, because it gives it a lot more dimension when you have this little highlight going on right there. Okay, so there's this dark part down here, connecting that with the shadow, adding a little bit here. And see the difference between the darknesses of the vine charcoal and charcoal pencil, compressed charcoal. Compressed is way darker, but it's also a nightmare to erase, so I use it last. We're just getting in there, kind of lightly sweeping to create some more dark areas, more of a contrast. Right along here. I'm going to go in a little bit, like this sideways motion. And it's really important to see what works for you. Every drawing, like once you start drawing actual objects and things in a picture, it's going to be all different. But what's going to remain is you're going to know what ways that you like to blend things. And that's really important. Now I'm just bringing this in over here, and I'm going in with these strokes like this, like it's this, it's like a circle if you made it like this, like you squashed a circle or something. And then I'm going to hint at some dark areas right over here just to make it really pop. Now I'm going to take my blending little stump thing again, and we're going to introduce our darker lines that we made. It's really going to make the picture come off the page a little bit more. So it's going to look a little bit crazy when you're going back in and doing these moves like this. Like, what did I just do? Did I ruin my drawing? No, you did not ruin your drawing. You're just going back and enhancing things, and it's going to look a little bit crazy at first, but you know what? It's going to work out in the end. And this is just a fun little experimental thing, so don't beat yourself up. And I'm just lightly kind of coming in a little bit like this. These little, light little sweepy motions. Now it looks like I have a lot of dark on there, and you're probably thinking you ruined your drawing. But watch the magic of toilet paper in a second. I'm going to take my toilet paper again, and we're going to see how it subtracts a little bit where I just put down. It's starting to look normal again. Ah. Trying to bring out some of the dark right there and blend it all together. Taking a cleaner space that doesn't have a bunch of charcoal on it, I'm going to use it to subtract away some of that. Alright. Looking almost there. Looking almost there. I'm just going to like add more of that shadow underneath again. I'm dabbing it, also adds a nice little effect to it. And I'm going to erase out that little highlight right there. And I'm going to go over and with like a cleaner edge, and brush it so it blends in. I'm going to dab in the middle, and I'm almost like done. Getting about done here. Go over it with a clean, swishy swishy. And then I'm going to clean up the edges. So voila, there we go. I sincerely hope you guys found this video helpful. I know that when I started to learn how to shade, it made a completely huge difference in the way my drawings looked, and I think it could really help you guys out too. So if it was helpful, please like my video, let me know that I'm doing a good job, and leave a comment telling me what you really found helpful in the video, because that would let me know, what I'm doing right, and it would just be awesome to hear from you guys. So thank you so much. Subscribe if you like my style of doing these videos, and I'll catch you later.